guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be a reaction to a video called KSK Hell Week. This is from Kommando Spezialkräfte, and the link is in the description. I have no idea what this could possibly mean. Hell Week sounds scary, but let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe.
Irgendwo in Süddeutschland. Rund 50 junge Männer, alle Zeit- und Berufssoldaten, haben sich freiwillig gemeldet zur Höllenwoche. So nennen sie hier den Eignungstest für das KSK. Alle werden in den nächsten Tagen an ihre Grenzen kommen. Die meisten werden scheitern. Die Höllenwoche ist das Härteste, was man jungen Menschen in einer Demokratie zumuten kann, sagte ein Kommandeur einmal. Und die Männer werden spüren, dass er recht hat.
Dann jetzt Gepäcke aufnehmen.
Die Gesichter der Bewerber und der aktiven KSK-Soldaten dürfen wir nicht zeigen. Wer hier aufgenommen wird, hängt das nicht an die große Glocke.
Eine kurze Frage noch. Fühlt sich jeder physisch und psychisch in der Lage, die Eignungsverstellung durchzuführen?
I would hope so.
Jawohl.
Yeah.
Gut.
Yes.
Ausführung.
I can't believe they don't show their faces.
180 Kilometer werden sie in den nächsten 5 Tagen zurücklegen. Jeder von ihnen ist mit schwerem Gepäck unterwegs. Leichter werden nur die Bewerber selbst. Jeder verliere in der Höllenwoche bis zu 8 Kilo, sagt man uns. Die Pausen sind kurz. An Schlaf ist kaum zu denken.
Okay. Well, that's bad.
Stärke.
Oh, it's in the snow.
Okay, dann setzen Sie jetzt ab, Kiste und Funkgerät, organisieren sich in den nächsten 3 Minuten und haben bis dahin Marschbereitschaft wiederhergestellt. Ausführung.
Immer wieder gibt es für die Prüflinge Zusatzaufgaben. Nur wenige davon werden uns gezeigt. Wie gesagt, das Härteste, was man Menschen in einer Demokratie zumuten kann.
Oh my God, is this torture? What is this?
Der Sandsack auf der Trage simuliert einen verwundeten Kameraden. Über viele Kilometer muss er in Sicherheit gebracht werden. Zusätzlich zum eigenen Marschgepäck, versteht sich. Für einen kommt ein frühes Aus. Der Körper machte nicht mehr mit. Im Hintergrund kümmern sich Ärzte um die Ausfälle.
Oh wait, no, wait, what? That's a person? I thought they were making fun of this. No, it's an actual person.
Für einen kommt ein frühes Aus. Der Körper machte nicht mehr mit.
Oh my God, there's a
Im
body.
Hintergrund kümmern sich Ärzte um die Ausfälle.
Oh my God, the body just gave out.
Am nächsten Morgen. Das Thermometer zeigt minus 10 Grad. Eine Flussüberquerung steht an. Ronny ist Kommandosoldat der ersten Stunde. Mit 43 Jahren ein Senior im KSK. Sein Job in dieser Woche? Die Bewerber beobachten, alles registrieren. Wie reagieren sie auf die Zumutungen? Wer zeigt Nerven? Wer wird aggressiv? Nach den Schindereien der ersten Tage wird selbst das Anziehen des Neoprenanzugs zu...
Okay, I get it. Obviously they're evaluating you as in you actually pass the test, but there's a guy actually seeing how you react to the things and writing notes. Oh my God.
Einem echten Problem.
Ein bisschen Bewegung, die Viertelstunde ist schon rum. Was war ein Problem?
Meine Füße sind angeschwollen.
Yeah, because you're walking so much.
Das geht schon, da machen Sie ein bisschen Wasser rein. Bei den anderen ging es ja auch.
The guy is like me. I mean, what? Okay, I guess.
Letztendlich dient jetzt diese Übung dazu, festzustellen, wer jetzt in der Lage ist, nach diesem langen Marsch auch bereit ist, sich jetzt hier wirklich auszuziehen, sich in dieses kalte Wasser zu begeben und sich selbst zu überwinden, dieses Gewässer zu durchschwimmen.
I'm wondering how many times, well, obviously he did this, I'm guessing once, but then he has better conditions, right? He's doing this alongside them, but he's a supervisor. He doesn't have to do this, right?
Das Wasser hat 3 Grad. Da schützt der Neoprenanzug.
Yeah, this is not gonna do anything, but don't
Dass sie
forget
jetzt
to do
noch
whatever.
3 Tage und Nächte vor sich haben, mag manchem von ihnen durch den Kopf gehen.
Yeah, you're just starting.
Einige der Bewerber haben schon ein Studium hinter sich. Maschinenbau, Medizin, Betriebswirtschaft. Jetzt hängen sie an einem langen Seil in eiskaltem Wasser.
Engineering,
Doch viel Zeit
doctorate,
bleibt nicht für
whatever.
solche Gedanken.
It's not it. Oh my God, I can't imagine how cold it must be.
Am anderen Ufer angekommen heißt es, umziehen und weiter. Mit feuchten Klamotten, im Laufschritt. Zwischendurch immer wieder Extraaufgaben.
Wait, they have to run? I thought he was just walking. Ah.
25 Kilo wiegt der Rucksack. Jetzt kommen nochmal 25 Kilo zusätzlich auf den Buckel.
On their back? For how long? I think this would be it. I'll be done for the count. I don't think I can carry that much weight in my back.
Die Strecke bergauf muss in einer bestimmten Zeit geschafft werden. Aber wie lang die Strecke ist, wissen die Bewerber nicht.
Oh my god, this is a psychological thing that they don't tell you how long you have going on. So it's worse, right? Because if you don't know, if you're prepared, oh, it's 15 minutes, it's an hour, it's 3 hours, you're going to sort of, I don't know, mentally, I think you can prepare yourself. But in this case, if you don't know, I think it's worse. But I get why they're doing this, right? In real life situations, if something like this happens, you don't really know. Oh, how long am I gonna have to walk for? You don't know, so that's the point. But I can't. This is way too heavy. Seriously, this is a lot heavier than I thought. But wow, of course I get that they're trained. Of course they work for this, right?
Wer abwirft, ist raus. Ohne Diskussion.
Huge. This huge pan.
Die ganzen Aufgaben, die wir den Männern abverlangen, vermitteln uns aber auch einen detaillierten Eindruck über die Persönlichkeit des Soldaten. Und es geht uns nicht nur um den extrem strapazierfähigen Soldaten, sondern auch den, der in seiner Persönlichkeit entwickelt, ausgeglichen und nicht über unkontrollierte Aggressivität verfügt.
Like, did you just sort of lose your marbles with, when you're under extreme duress or frustration, it's sort of you can maintain your composure. I get that, but I think if you just can't carry how much, this is 25, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, I can't remember. If that's too heavy, I mean, you can't really pass, right? Physically, you kind of have to still be in top form.
Ich nutze es nicht gerne, aber es ist der Punkt, wo wir immer wieder sagen, wir wollen den Rambo-Typ ausschließen. Und das, glaube ich, schaffen wir erfolgreich.
What's a Rambo-Type?
Unkontrollierte Aggressivität.
Wenn jemand in Situationen, wo er frustriert ist, anfängt, seinen Frust durch Aggression abzubauen. Und das können wir uns überhaupt nicht leisten.
I agree. You have to keep calm. And sort of, if you're frustrated, you're frustrated.
Welchen Grad an Leidensfähigkeit haben die Aspiranten? Das ist die Frage.
Yeah, what's your limit? It's such a mental thing more than physically, right? Oh my god, and he's just sort of looking at you all the time. It makes it more intimidating. Stop looking at me. Stop. Yeah, you're just sort of fighting for your life there, and you know that the supervisor is just looking at you. My eyes are on you. And no words of encouragement, of course. I'm just here, a neutral observer. But it's good, right? That's what he did. I'm taking a 5-second break. I'll continue, right? I'm not throwing the log. I'm just sort of taking a breather. I'll continue. I think that shows that he's, mentally he's in good form. I would believe, right? I have no idea about this, but I would assume this is how you should act. Take a breather, relax, take a second. Yeah, keep calm.
Wer langsam absetzt, wird verwarnt. Einmal.
Aufnehmen, sofort wieder.
Okay, yeah, but hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, yeah. I think it makes it worse because once you put it down.
Ein Truppenpsychologe ist immer dabei.
I can't get it up.
Auch um einzugreifen, wenn einer die Nerven verliert.
Okay, I'm scared of how.
Die rote Linie müssen sie erreichen.
How do people lose their minds with this? I'm a little scared. What kind of situations have they seen that, a psychologist is needed? Because it makes it quite scary, the situation. I don't know how people will react. I guess, right? You never know how people are going to react in terms of deep stress, I guess.
Irgendwo da oben muss sie sein.
Somewhere up there. You don't know where it is. They made it.
Durch die Witterungsverhältnisse war es für die Männer schon schwierig heute. Dennoch bin ich mit der Gesamtleistung zufrieden und muss sagen, wir haben jetzt ca. 50% Ausfälle. Wir sind also immer noch weit über dem Durchschnitt, den wir vor einem Jahr noch hatten.
Im Geländewagen liegt eine Tonne mit Verpflegung. Die müssen sie sich im Laufschritt erkämpfen. Zermürbend, denn die Tonne muss erst noch ein ganzes Stück geschleppt werden. Das Problem, sie wiegt 1 Zentner und hat keine Griffe.
Okay, well, but it's between all of us. I think that makes it easier. Okay. Right?
Eine Tüte mit karger Fertignährung. Das ist alles.
This one doesn't seem that
Danach
hard in comparison
4
to the
Stunden
other.
Zeit, um die Ausrüstung in Ordnung zu bringen. Wohl eine Art Pause.
I would be like, don't, if I stop, I'm not getting up
Am
ever.
Abend sind von den 50 Bewerbern noch 15
Oh my
übrig
God.
geblieben. Nach einer simulierten
insane.
Gefangennahme sind sie auf der Flucht. Über Stunden waren sie eingesperrt, in Feindeshand.
Yeah, I mean.
Alles sehr realitätsnah, wie es heißt. Das
Oh my
durften
God.
wir nicht filmen.
Everything's just top secret. Oh my God, if the worst part is that after everything you're
Nur
gonna
noch
have to keep
wenige Meter
running.
zurück in die Kaserne nach Kalf. Dann ist die Höllenwoche fast
I get what
überstanden.
it's called Hell Week. Oh my
Qualen
God.
und Schmerzen waren ständige Begleiter. Sie hätten ihre eigenen Körper besiegt, sagen uns die jungen Männer
Yeah,
später.
must be incredible. You sort of conquered yourself. I mean, it's good, but
Die letzte
what
Hürde
cost?
dann nachts in der Kaserne.
Another obstacle? It wasn't enough? It wasn't enough obstacles? Okay.
noch nicht anschauen.
I'm wondering, have they gotten any sleep? I don't think they've gotten any sleep, which I think makes it a million times worse. Or a shower, nothing. I don't want to sit down.
Von mir erstmal herzlichen Glückwunsch. Hier haben noch nicht viele gesessen. Also wirklich eine tolle Leistung, wir können stolz auf euch sein.
Well, thank you. Okay, what's next? What
Nachdem
are
sie
they
mehr als
doing?
100 Stunden körperlich durch die Mangel gedreht wurden, müssen sie noch Aufgaben lösen, um die geistige Wachheit zu testen.
Oh my God, they do a test.
Auch
And
hier
what does
kann für
this
den
test?
einen oder anderen noch das Auskommen.
And okay, but what are the questions? Is it like math
Damit
or?
ist der Prüfungsstress vorbei. Und letztendlich geht es jetzt in die Absackphase, so nenne ich das einfach mal. Jetzt gibt es auch kein Halt mehr, was die Emotionen anbetrifft.
Now you can cry and
Sondern jetzt ist
scream.
man fertig, man weiß, man hat zumindest es bis hierher geschafft. Ob man durchgekommen ist, weiß man nicht.
Oh, you
man weiß
don't
zumindest,
know.
dass man die körperlichen Leistungen abgerufen hat und die auch geschafft hat.
I mean, even if you didn't make it because maybe you failed the test, you know, this last test, at least you completed this. And I think I mean, how many people can say this, that you actually completed this? I mean, that's gotta be, you have to be proud. You have to feel proud.
Am nächsten Morgen 7 Uhr. Antreten vor der
At least you fall asleep.
Prüfungskommission.
you're able to sleep for at least a
Wie
few
hast du dir denn
hours.
das gestern Abend gedacht, als du da auf einmal zurückfielst?
Oh,
War ganz schön platt.
Ja.
okay, so they ask you about your
Aber ich kann mich noch
experience.
erinnern, dass du mal anderswo einen Spruch gemacht hast. Nehmt es mir nicht übel, aber ich habe es mir härter vorgestellt. Da war es schon ganz schön hart.
Das
Nicht?
stimmt. Da habe ich mit dem Oberleutnant gesprochen. Kurz
Oh
vor
my
der
God. It's sort of everything that you say will be used against you. I would keep my mouth shut.
Gefangennahme. Dann hat er mich gefragt, wie ich das bis jetzt empfunden habe.
Oh,
Und ich hab
because they ask you.
gesagt, es geht eigentlich.
Say
Ich
nothing.
habe es vom Erzählen her mir jetzt schlimmer vorgestellt. Ich habe da die Gefangenenphase außer Acht gelassen. Die hat mir ganz schön
Okay,
die
he's
Kraft
honest. Yeah, he's being
rausgezogen.
honest.
Und
Yeah.
so habe ich
I
mich
didn't have the whole
gefühlt
picture.
am
No, I know.
Gut, und
Sorry.
wie bewertest du insgesamt deine Leistung? Hast du bestanden oder nicht bestanden?
Ende verstanden.
Oh, yeah.
So ist auch unser Urteil.
Oh my God,
Insgesamt hast du
okay.
den 3. Platz gemacht. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Aber eins musst du aufpassen. Und das ist, wenn du dich hier bei uns bewegst,
Oh my God, you got a
wie du
warning.
dich äußerst. Du hast manchmal die Tendenz, ich sage das mal deutlich und klar, zur großen
Okay.
Klappe.
Okay.
Dieser Spruch, nimmt es mir nicht übel, ich habe es mir härter vorgestellt, war einer von denen.
Yeah, that was badly done.
Also
Badly
pass da
done.
auf, ansonsten freuen wir uns, dass wir dich hier bei uns haben. Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Yeah, you can't have too much bravado, but you have to be confident. Oh my God, the man's
Damit kann
limping.
für ihn und 12 andere Soldaten die 2-jährige Ausbildung zum Kommandosoldaten beginnen.
Oh, now it's the training. Okay. This is crazy. I thought that this was the end. I thought, oh, great. You know, now I'm done. I graduated. I'm able to be a soldier. No, this is where the training comes in. What are you doing? So this is only the beginning. This is only the first test. That's insane. What are these people doing? I don't know. This video looks quite older. No, I'm scared. I think I'm gonna be judged just as they're judging the old commanders, lieutenants. I don't know, who are the superior guys in the military. They're judging the little soldiers. I don't know how they call them. Now I'm scared. I'm scared of saying anything because they'll be, oh my God, you said it. It's no, but I think again, it doesn't look super old, but it looks a little bit older, right? It's just, you know, by the looks of it. It doesn't look that modern. So I'm wondering, maybe, I don't know, these days, maybe it's done a little bit different. I don't know, but probably not, right? Probably not. This is still being done in that exact same way. I think it's really funny because the guy, I was thinking a little bit of that. Maybe that we have that in common with the soldier, or at least he passed. But I was thinking, obviously this doesn't really paint the full picture, because I know that there's a lot of things that they can't, you can't record apparently because it's secret, it's top secret. So again, it's all their, the military, I know that they keep a lot of secrets usually. So I get why that you can't actually see, the whole thing. But, I'm guessing, in the hypothetical, which is never going to happen, of course, I'm not going to be in Hell Week. I'm not going to voluntarily, show up for this. But I'm wondering if they switch it out every year, or if they have, the opportunity to, again, if I'm interested in this, and let's assume I'm actually doing this for real, or I'm thinking about doing this for real. I'm seeing this video. I'm sort of preparing myself. But again, does it change, right? Has it changed in the years since this was done? Which again, I have maybe no idea. Maybe it's not that old as I was thinking. I don't know. But maybe they switch it around a little bit, and each year, and they do things a little bit different, because they sort of expect the unexpected. Or, similarly, of course, the tasks are going to be similar, but it's not necessarily, the carry a log, you have to carry a log and all of that. I don't think maybe it's that. Maybe it's, a similar task, but I'm wondering what they actually want to, I don't know, because I'm wondering a lot of things. I'm wondering if the actual purpose of this exercise in this specific case, for instance, the one with the log, I'm wondering if the actual, because it can't be about the actual weight that you're carrying, right? Because again, I was sort of making fun of this as in, I wouldn't be able to do this, because no, of course not. I don't think I would be able to carry, that much weight on my shoulders. But I know that if I really, it's not because I'm, that's not the kind of weight that I would use, right? At the gym or anything. But I know that if I were actually training for something like this, as they are aware that I want to attempt the Hell Week, I'm training, right? I'm training for this. I previously thought that you were trained sort of at the special forces or something. Now I'm just training on my own. I thought they were actually military guys, and they had some previous sort of, it's gonna be like this. Hell Week it can consist of several exercises, such as this and this and that, and you kind of go and you say, oh well, okay, so I'm gonna work on this. But maybe again, maybe not. Again, I have no idea. But again, my point is, I think the physicality of the thing, and for instance, you have to carry this giant, the 25 kilos, I think it was, on your shoulders. You would prepare. I know that I would, obviously, and I know that they would as well. Okay, I'm gonna start then, and then I'm gonna start going to the gym and lifting that weight, and I'm gonna start training for this. As in, yes, once I'm able to sort of handle that load, I would go around and maybe, I don't know, take a walk, take a hike with all that weight on my shoulders and see, until I'm a little bit more comfortable with it. I wouldn't say, I'm going to be super, super happy with it, or I'm going to be super relaxed with it. I don't think you can. Or maybe you can. I mean, it's like, that's how it works, right? You just work your muscles and you work your body. And you build up to it. You build your endurance. And it seems impossible, but then, after a few months of constantly working at it, you actually realize, oh my God, this doesn't really look that heavy. But that's the thing, right? You really have to work for it. But my point is that I can't think that they're actually sort of testing this, because I know that it doesn't really, again, it's something that you can work on. And if you're disciplined enough, and they know that you're disciplined enough, then they know that you can just build up to that weight, to that hypothetical weight, and then you work on your endurance, because it's the physical part. I think it's the easy part, which sounds crazy, of course, but it is. It is sort of the easy part out of all the challenge. I think probably the hard part, it's obviously, again, for instance, the cold, right? The cold, how cold it is. You have to swim in this lake that it's almost frozen and it's super cold, and you have to swim. I mean, that I think, how do you build your endurance like this? It's not something that you can. I mean, some people really do very badly in the cold, just as some people do very poorly in the when it's hot. So I don't know. I mean, it's the actual thing of, I'm wet, I'm cold, I'm tired. Yes, sure. But I think those are still things that I think I can maybe practice on my own. Again, it's hard because it's not something that you can again, you can sort of build your weights, and you can lift weights, and then you can walk, and you can do long hikes and go, I don't know, this week-long hikes, and then you are able to sort of, again, build that endurance. But for instance, the cold part, I don't know how you're able to handle this, because it's not something I can work. It's something that my body is sort of giving up on me because it's really cold. And, my limbs are frozen maybe. So they're sort of stuck, and I can't really do anything about this. Maybe, again, you would attempt it. I know that I would. Again, if I were doing the Hell Week situation, I would go swimming in a frozen lake and see, well, again, if I can build up some sort of, it's not that shocking the first time you do it. But again, that's assuming a big if everything is the same each year, right? Because I'm thinking maybe they switch it around, right? Because, it wouldn't be, I don't know. Maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe that's the thing, right? It's one thing to actually see it, and the other thing is to actually do it. Because obviously it's really easy to see it through a screen and be, oh yeah, I would do this, I would do the other thing. Because obviously, again, you're not actually in it, so you don't really know, and you can't really tell how you're going to behave. So I was wondering about that, and see, because again, they're constantly being judged. So I was thinking about that part of the actual sort of exercise and the whole task. I don't think they're testing, again, if your endurance is not quite there, probably you're out, right? No, you're super out. You're not going to be able to handle this. But I'm thinking maybe, and this is me sort of switching it around and being the instructor in this case. If I see someone that really has the potential, again, their bodies are not there yet, but I know that could be worked. It's sort of, yes, we can train this, and I know that I could put you, with a trainer, and if you really do set your mind to this, you're able to do this. But, again, you need to have the discipline. So I think that could go both ways. You can be thinking, well, how am I going to be, how do I know you're sort of worthy of this if you can't really, even attempt, this Hell Week, if you don't really pass, how am I expecting you to be disciplined enough to actually apply yourself to the actual, I think it was a 2-year training. So that could be, that could go on one hand, that could be it. Or I think it could be, the other, it would be actually you showed, I think mentally, you showed great strength. And that's what we're looking for, because I think those are maybe a little bit, again, the bodies, it gets crazy. Again, crazy to say this, but I think it is the case. I think bodies are a little bit more trainable because, again, with the right sort of combination of exercises, discipline, and structures, and instructions, you are able to sort of get your body to where it's supposed to be. But the hard part, it's the mental part, and to sort of reframe things. And again, working, even again, I don't know if they work with an actual therapist or with an actual psychologist. But I think, the hardest part is the mental part, and it's sort of your mental state. So I'm wondering if maybe someone is not really there yet with their bodies, but I think they showed potential. So it's maybe, again, you know what, maybe you're not there yet, but I think you passed either way. Not necessarily because maybe and it goes both ways. Maybe someone passed, actually the physical test and they passed, but maybe psychologically they saw something that maybe it wasn't super right for the actual, what they're looking for, basically. And maybe they're, maybe you technically you did well and you passed everything, but mentally and psychologically, I don't think that you would be the right fit. So you didn't pass, which I think is crazy, right? It's, oh my God, how on earth did I just did this thing and I approved and I did it and I was able to, again, from 50 people, I was one of the 15 that actually made it. But then maybe, made it as in you completed it. But then again, the whole evaluation process, it didn't really work. So I'm wondering how many cases where that happens, because maybe it is a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'm wondering, but I would think that maybe there's some of them. I don't know if they're the outliers or, it happens more often than I would have thought, but it wouldn't surprise me. And because they constantly keep saying again about the emotions, and they're constantly, it's a whole psychological process in and out of itself. And I think it's more about the mental capacity that they're testing instead of the actual physicality that you're able or not to complete. Is it hard? Yeah, of course, and it's funny because I was with the guy that they were interviewing. He was very good because I don't know what profile they're looking for. But it's kind of, again, you want to be, I think it's important to be confident because, again, you don't really, if you approve, if you manage to accomplish all of this sort of Hell Week, you have to be super proud. I mean, just something that a lot of the population is not really able to do. So on one hand, yeah, of course, you have to feel proud and confident that you're able to do this. However, I think that maybe it's really, again, it's a slippery slope because you have to be confident because, yeah, of course, again, you're kind of, I mean, you're not better than half the population, but you're quite, excellent. Let's say you're in the top percentage of people. So I think it would be a little bit hard for this to not to go over your head. But at the same time, I get that's probably not a good thing. And that's not really the profile that they're looking for. They're not looking for something with this huge bravado and sort of braggadocio being, oh yeah, this was like a piece of cake for me. No, they're not really looking for that because I think being humble is quite an important part of the process, and being a part of the military, I think that's also a part of that, right? You have to be disciplined, and you also have to be able to take orders, and you have to be thinking, again, there's more things to learn. It's not as if, oh, everything's easy for me. Because again, that comes, that again, it maybe leads to some negative things happening. And maybe, again, you have to be able to take sort of, again, with a little bit of more you have to be humble, basically. And be, yeah, sure, it's not everything. Is it going to be super easy? Well, no, but I don't know. I think I would be wondering because I know that everything is a psychological process. I'd be thinking, how do they want me to answer? Maybe it says, no, you have to be honest, actually. Okay, do I have to be honest? Or do you want me to answer one specific way? Because that's the profile that they're looking for. I think that would automatically would count me out from this. But I would be thinking this. Should I answer honestly? But I don't know, because I don't know what the test entails. I don't know if the test, the test they do at the end, the sort of written test, I don't know if it's a test, a psychological test, or if it's a test sort of, they're testing, previous knowledge and see how fast or we just know how fast, not even how fast, it's just if you can recall important information under extreme duress and after a period of long, you're tired, you haven't slept, your body's tired, your brain's tired, everything's tired, are you still able to sort of work to your brain together and those neurons are being activated? Are you still able to do that? I don't know if that test has that part of things, or is it more a psychological test, or maybe it's a combination of both. I do not know, but I think ultimately what they want to test is your brain, not necessarily your physicality. Although of course that's a huge part of it, and that's why you should definitely be able to train enough to actually do this. But I just think it's interesting that I think it's probably the more important part is the psychological part of this and the mental part instead of the physical sort of aspect of things, which I would have thought, oh, well, that's probably the most important part, right? Because they're in the military and they're just super strong guys. But no, I think it's not just being able to run really fast or be able to endure a lot and be able to carry big things. No, it's about a mental sort of capacity and this mental endurance. That's probably more important, or just equally, not probably more important, because again, if the physicality is not there, you're not going to be able to sort of be in the military. But it's, those things go hand in hand, and they're probably, again, it's easier to, to shape bodies, and it's harder to shape minds, basically. So it's really interesting, that sort of the whole process. And yeah, I'm with the guy, which I don't know, he made it, but I was thinking the same thing. Maybe, I don't think it's that hard, but no, there's going to be an aspect of this that you're going to find hard. And it's just, I think, just the tiredness of it all, because again, you can sort of work to it. And yes, I've been working at the gym, and I've been working, I've been working out, and yes, I've been sort of, upping my task and upping my capacity. But, again, one thing is for you to act in one specific way once you're not under pressure and when you're trying on your own, and another is to be a part of a team, and again, that you're being supervised and you're being seen and you're being judged. And I think a lot of the tasks probably come out of left field, and those are things that you can't really prepare. You can prepare because obviously that's the idea. They have to keep, everyone on their toes. So it's sort of, yeah, stop here, do this. But again, they're not going to tell you because the normal average person is not privy to those secrets. So again, I would love to know though, just because I'm very curious. But it's really interesting, and yeah, super interesting to me that the mental part is probably the most important part about this. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!